Welcome to the podcast, Claim Your Excellent Life, with your host, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck, where she helps professional women learn how to be happy. Suzanne will teach you how to do this through building high self-esteem, relaxation and calm, and good, healthy relationships. Tune in every week as Suzanne shares effective strategies to help you claim your excellent life with happiness techniques, self-esteem building exercises, relationship tips, and relaxation information. Make sure to head over to dawningvisions.com to subscribe to the newsletter to receive your keys to happiness, as well as other useful free gifts for you.
In this episode of Claim Your Excellent Life, we are going to speak about why it is that people are acting so crazy over this virus. Because from everything that I've read from the people who actually understand how viruses operate, people who understand immunology amongst human beings, and statisticians who can help us understand the numbers involved, this whole virus is nothing but a hoax. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there are some people who know a lot more about this stuff than I do, who do contend that this was something that was made up a few years ago so that certain people could get very wealthy off of making inoculations for everybody to take. Now, I've been following Dr. John Bergman on YouTube for quite a few years, and he taught me and the rest of the people who watch his videos, which there are plenty of them, that there's a very scary thing that goes on when we talk about making vaccinations, and that is the carrier fluids that are used have all kinds of toxins in them, and they're putting them directly into your skin or into your blood. On one of his videos, actually quite a few of his videos, he shows a direct increase in autoimmune problems, autism, and other types of disorders going hand in hand, correlated to, and correlation does not equal causation in the world of science. However, the massive increase in 1 in 30 kids becoming autistic these days goes hand in hand with the fact that they get so many injections before the time they're 2 years old. And on top of this, and you all need to know this because it's a fact of life, the people who make these inoculations have no legal responsibility should anyone get harmed by them. Who made that legislation? I don't know. But it seems to me that if you cause harm to somebody, you ought to pay up. And the scariest thing about this whole deal is that they're running these inoculations, saying how positive they are, but yet this is an intriguing thing. There was an article written by a woman in Florida who needed a surgery, and she was told she had to have a COVID-19 test. 3 days later, she asked for her results, as that's when she said they would be available. They would not give her her results. She forced the issue by telling them, quite frankly, that it was her records and she had every right to the results. And the hospital staff said, well, you'll have to pay for them. And she said, that's fine, give me my results. She was negative. How many hundreds of thousands of times is this happening all over the US of A and other countries all around the world? How many times? How many times do you have people with chronic illnesses, even deadly illnesses, like lung cancer? The person tests positive, and by the way, having an antibody for the virus doesn't mean you have the virus. What do you think inoculations do for you folks? It gives you the antibody so you don't get the virus. Like in the situation of hepatitis B, which I had to take in 1993 because I was working with a bunch of people in the world of mental health. And when I went to get my titers done before I went to Africa several years ago, everything showed up perfectly fine. It was done again, and Yes, it showed that I had the antibodies for the Hep B because I had the 3-stage inoculation back in 1993. I'm very glad it's still working. I don't have the disease. I had the inoculation, which showed the antibodies. Are you all following me here? So I want you all to get real about this. Plenty of people die from medical malpractice. That's the number 3 killer of Americans today. Why? Because they have to see 20 to 40 patients a day, and there's no way you can get a good idea of what's going on with them. And with so many symptoms overlaps between so many different diseases and illnesses, it becomes nigh impossible to make a good diagnosis, and so people get treated with the wrong medications. Medication errors happen anyway because they're all overtired, especially if they're working in ERs as residents, still working 8 hours a week or more. That's less than they used to. That's what they do on average. And then you wonder why there's all these mistakes being done. Well, this is the reality. And plus, the doctors can't even take care of themselves. There's this lovely doctor who has gotten into holistic health. Her name is Lissa Rankin, and she's been around for a while, and she got into obstetrics, if I could say the word, right? Because she always wanted to be a doctor. Her dad was a doctor. From the time of 7, she wanted to be a doctor. And there came a time she was in an operating room with a stomach flu, being forced to operate on a pregnant woman because those were the rules. She couldn't even take time out when she was sick, and she could have gotten this woman very, very ill operating on her. Yes, she had gloves on and stuff. But that's not the point. She could have coughed on her and in an open wound. You can understand how this works. So she got out of that field. She went to Beverly Hills, where people had money for supplements, and realized that stress is really the biggest problem that people face. So she's been helping people in the medical world and holistic health to deal with their stress and become better holistic practitioners because they're taking better care of themselves. I tell you these things because I want you to understand the realities out there. You can't really trust too much of anything in the medical world these days. When you have 2 Lancet editors leave after over 20 years of service because some pharmaceutical company was able to publish their biased, rigged drug experiments for $400,000 a piece, you realize that even the doctors don't know what to do to tell you what's right because the so-called evidence procedures are not being used the way they were supposed to because you have a conflict of interest in 3 different ways here. It's absolutely inane and insane. So what I'd like you all to do is to get your heads wrapped around the fact that we don't really know what's going on, so let's not pretend we do. I'd like you to go do the things you need to do to be happy and healthy. That means hanging out with the people who you love to be with, hug them all you want, and eat healthy foods, get enough sleep, and do the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Because those are the things that are going to build your immune system, and that's what your immune system was made to do, to keep you healthy and well. If you're in an older years, like above 70, it's probably a good idea, especially if you have chronic problems, to stay away from other people. That would be true with or without COVID, because your immune system is not able to help you to fight whatever is out there. Because you have chronic illnesses, like if you have heart disease or pulmonary problems, or if you're dealing with any kind of cancer and you're taking chemotherapy, trust me, your immune system is dead. If you're on a lot of antibiotics, your immune system and your biome is dead as well. So, yeah, stay away from other people. It's a good idea to do. For the rest of us, go out there and enjoy your lives, and that will be the thing that will get you through to the other end. And by all means, work on the things that you care about so that when we're at the other end, you're going to have a really good time, like decide where you want to go travel next. So you're setting yourself up for happiness and joy on the other end. Time. Oh, and by the way, you can find those articles and things on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck. I have a bunch of videos up there from people who actually understand the science and the statistics and all that stuff. I wouldn't even pretend to be able to tell you about those things. But it's all there on Suzanne Kellner-Zinck personal Facebook page. It's there, open for anyone to find and to look at, along with a bunch of really great lives that I've done on all different kinds of subject matter, including hypnosis inductions. You can actually get yourself hypnotically inducted on anything that you'd like that's up there on the page, going back as far as January 7th of 2019, I want to say. As always, I thank you for spending your time with me. Till next time. If you have enjoyed Claim Your Excellent Life, we'd really appreciate it if you go over to iTunes and give it a 5-star review. If you have found Claim Your Excellent Life to be helpful to you, and maybe even life-altering with the information that we have shared here, and to allow us to continue this work, which we really do enjoy doing for you, you can sponsor us at patreon.com. That's spelled P as in Paul, ATREON as in Nancy.com. Again, that's P as in Paul, AT as in Tom, REON as in Nancy.com, where there's a few different levels of sponsorship that you can choose from to help us to continue doing this work. We thank you for any assistance that you are able to give us.
Thank you for listening to the podcast, Claim Your Excellent Life, with your host, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck, where she helps professional women learn how to be happy. Suzanne teaches you how to do this through building high self-esteem, relaxation and calm, and good, healthy relationships. Tune in every week as Suzanne shares effective strategies to help you claim your excellent life with happiness techniques, self-esteem building exercises, relationship tips, and relaxation information. Make sure to head over to dawningvisions.com to subscribe to the newsletter to receive your keys to happiness, as well as other useful free gifts for you.